Plug and Play Podcast.
Gamers, we are back. It's your boy AD. It's your homie Jay. We are back with Plug and Play Season 0, Episode 2. We're in the building. Jay, what's going on, brother?
Man, I'm doing real great, man. I hope you're doing well just the same, bro. This is a very exciting time to be alive.
Oh, yeah.
This week, we're talking about middle of September 2024.
Oh, man. We're eating.
25 years since the Dreamcast. And for 25 years, I've been feasting for this day. This day.
I feel like grabbing the Dreamcast right now. I got it in the living room right now. I got a burnt copy of Sonic Adventure 2.
Same, boy.
Listen, man, it's a great time to be in games. Like, you know, it's just
it really is.
We're recording this on the day of the new Sparking Zero trailer for the GT characters. Earlier this week, we got the PS5 Pro announced. It's a lot of gaming stuff just happening in the ether, and we're just rolling into the season, man. How you feel?
They thought it wouldn't happen. They swore it wouldn't happen. They swore.
Hey, listen.
Season Pass 2 GT. I knew
out the gate
from the beginning. I knew. Listen, man, if this is Budokai Tenkaichi 4 without calling it Budokai Tenkaichi 4, you cannot make this game at least be as close to Tenkaichi 3 as it possibly can. And Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was gonna have to be there. Without it, you would have had a lot of people upset come October 11th. You would have had a lot of people upset without that Super Saiyan 4. So I'm so glad to see we got that great trailer.
Let's run down the roster real quick. There's like 10 slots left on that initial character screen.
Sure is.
I got the roster pulled up right now. So here we go. We got Goku from Z, early, mid, and the end of Z. Super Saiyan Goku Z, Super Saiyan Goku 2, Super Saiyan Goku 3, and then Super Goku, Super Saiyan Goku from Super Saiyan God Goku from Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue for, you know what I'm saying, from Super. We got Scouter Vegeta, Grade 8 Vegeta, then early Z Vegeta, Super Saiyan Vegeta, Super Vegeta, then end of Z Vegeta, Super Saiyan Vegeta. Listen, we got the copies going, you know what I'm saying?
For every rendition of the character you could think of, man, they got it, bro.
Listen, this reminds me of the Blue Eyes on Blue Eyes video.
Yes, sir. We got Vegetas on Vegetas on Vegetas on Vegetas.
Listen,
you ever seen Goku on Goku on Goku on Goku, nigga?
Listen.
On,
but not only them, we got Super Broly, we got Super Trunks, we got Z Trunks, Majin Buu, Cell, Jiren, 17, 18, Piccolo, Yamcha, Tien, Hercule, Bergamo, Master Roshi in this motherfucker. We got Nappa, Berter, Jace. Listen, man.
Vegito, Z, and Super. So far, we got Gogeta Super confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
So far.
We got.
I'm gonna get to that in a second.
Oh, listen.
I'm gonna get to that in a second.
Listen, I'm gonna just go ahead and skip to the end because this is what we got announced today. We got Pan from GT, Kid Goku from GT, and then his Super Saiyan 3, and Super Saiyan 4 transformations. We got Baby Vegeta. We got Super Baby 1 and 2 and Grade 8 Baby. We got Oob and Majub. We got Sin Shenron and Omega Shenron. And then we got Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta.
That's right, man.
Listen.
We got basically the cast you would expect. There is now I feel people where it's like, yo, man, where's Super 17? And I feel it.
That's the one.
Because that, to me, that's my favorite villain in GT. The emotion of him is kind of whack. But, let's be real. Bandai's gonna Bandai.
Yeah.
Right? They've already told us the season pass is gonna be Daima and Superhero. That's Season Pass 1, okay? Xenoverse been around 10 years next year. You know what I mean? Xenoverse 2 been around 10 years. So you better believe this Fighters lasted 6 years. We're about to get the biggest Dragon Ball game of all time. For if the base roster is already the biggest, please believe the way it's gonna look in 2 years is gonna be nuts.
And we haven't even talked about the actual
the last 10 characters that we don't even know.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like the last 10 characters. We haven't talked about any of the movies. Cooler. You know what I'm saying? Fucking BoJack. We already talked about BoJack and Broly last episode. So I mean, there's so much potential here for just beyond. Exactly. We're going even further beyond, bro.
Look, I don't know anything. I'm not officially. I've never played Sparking Zero. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any official links with Bandai. But I'm gonna tell y'all, we got the leak right here. We got the scoop right here. And I'm telling you just because this is based on common sense. The next trailer, which will come out probably next Thursday, will be movie characters, probably a couple of Dragon Ball dudes, and Gogeta from Z.
They give us Mercenary Tao, it's a wrap.
There you go. That's your last 10 characters. Listen. Some movie bosses. What I'm talking about, like probably your BoJacks. I
would like to see some Turles or a Slug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, listen, we gotta have Turles. We're talking about Cooler, both form and Metal Cooler. That's 6, right? Okay, so we can stop there with the maybe one of those is Hirudegarn, maybe, you know what I'm saying, something like that. They have Dragon Fist, Janemba. Yeah, if we got Gogeta, we gotta have Janemba, right? So then, if we got room for 2 more characters, you could have like Kid Goku. Arale.
I would dig Arale and Satan from Sandman.
This is where I was gonna ask you. Who do you think the last bonus character is? Because they've told us this whole time the last bonus character is a character who's never been in the Sparking series / Budokai Tenkaichi series.
It might have to be him.
If it's not Beelzebub, I'm thinking it's gonna be Android 21.
That too.
It's one of those two for me. It's one of those two for me. What are you thinking?
I'm in 100% agreement. It has to be one of those two, especially because 21 is now officially a super character.
Exactly.
She has to be there. She has to be there.
Like, and she's been in every game since she was released in Fighters, right? We saw her, as Jiro's wife in Dragon Ball Superhero. So it only makes sense to me. If she's not that hidden character, I would expect her Season Pass 2, possibly 3, Yeah. But there's no way this game comes out completely and doesn't eventually have Android 21 for sure.
Now, we're going to get into it a little bit later once we get into the main topic. But what do you think this base roster is going to be like? And what do you think the unlockable characters will like? What are the stipulations?
So far, just from what they've said in interviews, you'll be able to buy characters with Zenny in the shop.
Okay.
But I'm thinking it'll be like you go through the dragon history, what have you, and then the characters you can buy are based on the ones that like if you played up to sell, you can buy all those characters up to sell. And then, as you progress through the game.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it was something to where also, like, because a lot of Bandai games work where it's just like, listen, we got the shop and it's just already got everything there. So
yeah,
you are like everybody however you want to. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like that too.
I just feel like, the old days of sitting there and grinding characters to unlock is just it's a time forgotten. It's a time long missed.
It is. And I need that. I do want to have that sense of like accomplishment and saying like, okay, I put enough work into the game to get these guys. What I would really like to see outside of something just with the characters, since we know we have these what if modes, right? More options, right? Like, say it's like certain conditions you gotta unlock to be able to have that, or like certain.
So yeah, what they could do is, because it's also made by Bandai Namco, that it could mimic Smash Bros. Ultimate in the World of Light, where they could have the characters unlocked like that, you know, the what if scenarios, but also you pick your characters, you have their extra worlds or whatever, and you just follow the path of whatever character that you're following along. And so
now see, that would be great. That would be really great way, especially since we already know like this story mode is supposed to be told from 8 different characters' perspectives, I believe. So if you're supposed to be able to play from these different characters and it gives you the entire story of everything, the people that you come across in their individual like sections, it should make sense that they would be unlocked or like able to be unlocked.
Like there are times, like, because we follow Goku and Vegeta often, you know what I'm saying, and then up to the end of Z where we follow Gohan for a quick second. We could have moments where it's like, okay, but what about this time where we're away from them? What is Yamcha doing? How is Krillin fighting crime on Earth? You know what I'm saying? Like, we could take this time to just explore all of the different characters on their own individual journeys leading up to, you know, the current point in wherever we are in the Dragon universe.
So my question to you would be, who were the 8 characters? I mean, Vegeta, Goku, right? Yeah. Given. Who the other 6?
So it would be Vegeta, Goku, Krillin, Piccolo, either Yamcha or Tien, because they could be somewhat similar. So I'm gonna make that 5. Gohan, that will be 6. Let's see. I would like to see. It's gonna be crazy. I would like to see either Frieza or Boo. Frieza or Boo. Just to like, because if we get Frieza, we get to see like how he dominates with the Ginyu Force, whoever. Like we get to see that side of things. Kind of the same thing with Boo, but like, you know, a different offshoot.
Just his perspective of his art and Super and everything.
And then maybe somebody from one of the newer series, like maybe let's say I know it's crazy, but I would say Jiren, only because we could get his perspective of a what if in the Tournament of Power characters, and like, you know, something like that. Is Jocko playable? Did we get Jocko as a playable character?
Jocko, let's see here. Is Jocko confirmed? Jocko is not confirmed yet. Jocko is not confirmed yet.
That would be interesting too.
Jocko's not confirmed yet. Yeah. If I was gonna pick the 8, I would go Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, Krillin, Future Trunks.
Okay.
Goten and Trunks. Like in like a Gotenk story.
I can rock with that.
Right. Frieza,
yeah.
Because you get like enough of like, there's enough perspectives of everything from like the most important parts that like everything's covered with them. You know what I'm saying?
I could dig that. I could dig that. I'm trying to think about any other characters who would be like somewhat viable, because Future Trunks is a good one. Future Trunks is a really good one.
Yeah. And I'm like, we gotta get, you know, like we gotta get his perspective. Damn, I didn't even consider.
I was thinking like maybe Whis.
Oh yeah.
Like somebody who is like omnipresent, that can oversee everything, and that way they can jump across different stories, and that way they can get everybody involved somehow. That's what I was trying, because it's really only going to be Goku and Vegeta who kind of follow that kind of train. Yeah. But what if it's somebody else from that other side, like, you know, from the end?
It would have to be Whis, because Beerus stays asleep too long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait. We got like a month to go. Literally a month.
Literally, yeah.
At the time of this recording, literally a month.
People will have this game in hand. Okay, I pre-ordered it. I'm making sure I get it those 3 days. I need it. I need it, man. I need it as soon as I can get my hands on it.
All right. I think we've talked enough about.
Yeah. Until we get to the Spark at Zero episode, right?
Oh man, that's gonna be a great one. We might have to make that like a holiday special or something. You know?
Oh yeah. We need enough time with it before we can actually like give our thoughts on
Exactly.
everything it's had.
But we're gonna go ahead and press play. We've kept you guys waiting long enough. It's time to jump into the Budokai Trilogy.
Don't let the bruises fool you. Goku is just getting warmed up. Choose your opponent and launch the ultimate attack. The greatest warriors assembled for a tournament of champions. And with the new Saiyan Overdrive fighting system, you'll do battle like never before. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 for the PlayStation 2 computer entertainment system, rated T for teen.
First question. I gotta ask you.
Oh yeah.
Where were you on December 3rd, 2002?
On December 3rd, 2002.
Yes, holiday season 2002.
Man, I'm getting ready for like it's my first year of high school, right? So I'm getting ready for like these little tests and stuff. But let me tell you, I'm a little distracted. I'm a little distracted right now. That's where I am. In high school, waiting for something a day I've been waiting for ever since I saw this cover of this Game Pro magazine a few months earlier with Super Saiyan Goku on the cover. Okay. All right. Because I've been playing the little emulators, but this right here, this is different. This is not something I ever thought I'd see. At like 14-year-old Jay right here is like bewildered.
Listen, man, I'm not gonna hold you because I didn't have a PlayStation 2 growing up.
Okay.
But my cousin who lived down the street from me, got this game for Christmas.
Yeah.
And so I have heavy memories of us just spending every weekend, if not every other school night, and we're 8 years old, just playing this game over the holiday season for the next few months, just going in, man. Like, it was a great time. And I am talking about Dragon Ball Z Budokai.
The one, man. Before we ever even knew there would be more of these games, right? Like just a 3D Dragon Ball Z game on PlayStation 2, on, you know what I'm saying? Like it blew our fucking minds. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. Like, now I'm not gonna lie to you. It did take me and my cousins together some time to get past the beginning of this damn game.
Listen, man.
Just the beginning of this damn game.
There have been several times on the Lookout Network where I have constantly talked about. We had the top 25 episodes of Dragon Ball Z earlier this year.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite episodes is episode 5, where Goku dies because of holding Raditz back. And they allowed us to play this level from Goku
have that
and Piccolo's perspective.
Yeah,
listen. This game allowed us to do a lot of different things. First of all, let me talk about this. It came out December 3rd, 2002 in North America. Came out in Japan February 13th, 2003. That's kind of crazy that we get this game first. Well, Europe got it first, November 2nd, 2002. It's an interesting time. Developed by Dimps, published by Atari at the time, not Bandai. Only in Japan and Bandai, but we got Atari to get this one.
Yeah.
But the production values for this first game was amazing. We got Kenji Yamamoto as the composer.
Never did anything wrong. Before we ever get to discussing Kenji Yamamoto, all I want to say is he's just influenced by good music, and there's nothing wrong with that. We will get to Kenji Yamamoto later. But before I say that, that is my hot take. This man did not shit wrong. Sorry. Plagiarism is one thing, and I understand that it harms people's money, but he didn't do shit wrong here.
Understandable. Very understandable. I'm kind of in the same camp, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
What I would like to say, the other thing about this production of this game is it is the first Budokai game dubbed by Funimation.
Yeah, man.
The GOATs. We had Steve Bloom in the Final Bout and all these other guys, but this is where we first get Goku as Sean Shamel, the big guys, Chris Sabat, everybody's
the voices
here.
you hearing on TV, man.
The production for this game was crazy. When you first boot this game up, you get all the logos and titles, and then you hear Rock the Dragon.
Yeah, God. Man, listen. I'm not gonna lie to you. I need them to bring that back for Sparking Zero.
Oh my!
I need it.
Spitting.
I need it, man. I need it.
It's been so long.
Yes. It's only really a specific generation of us that grew up with the Rock the Dragon intro to Dragon Ball Z, right? Mm-hmm. But if you knew that energy that it gives you when you see Dragon Ball Z, listen, it was no better song. No better song. We didn't know nothing about No Chala Hedgehog. Like if you know what I'm saying? Like if you were really just watching on Cartoon Network or nothing, you know what I mean? Like especially not everybody.
That Booty Cheeks opening. I'm sorry, that Booty Cheeks opening on Crunchyroll. No,
nah.
This was
Rock the
Dragon.
This was the one. Rock the Dragon was it.
And the fact that they did the full intro in 3D with the character models, the environments, everything, they put their foot in this game. So shout out to Dimps, man. Like they really did their big one.
Such a great job on this game.
So let's talk about the gameplay with this game as well, because it's a step up from Final Bout, like a couple steps up.
Oh yeah. Listen, we're talking about 2003 gameplay as if it's 2003, okay? Like we're not trying to compare it to anything that's been released since. If we're looking at Budokai for the game that it was at the time, best Dragon Ball Z game there is.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Hands down.
Because this is the first time where we have a 3D Dragon Ball Z game that has like some like real fighting game elements to it, right? You've got like your combos of like your punch, kick energy, stuff like that, right? Like, and even though that's like sort of like a rudimentary combo sort of like builder, it's still something different than like, make sure you're doing your quarter circles in the right way on the right controller. Otherwise, it's just gonna be input wrong. Like it was like a really easy game to pick up. Like no matter what age you were, or even no matter how much fighting games you played prior to it.
Exactly. Like there was one button for everything that you really needed to do. Punch, kick, shooting key blast. If you need to guard, you can. If you tap back on the twice while holding the guard, you can charge your key. Like simple. Way better than Butiden, for sure, in my opinion. You got, because it's also in a 3D space, you can dodge, you can move left and right. It's kind of like Tekken or Dead or Alive, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot more freedom of movement in this game. And then you get your specials. You have Kamehamehas. You got I will say this about the Kamehameha. When you first use it with Goku and everybody else, it's a yellow flash. Well, Cell,
true to the manga.
True
to the manga.
Cell has it blue for some whatever reason. It's like okay, very interesting that y'all decided to do it like that. But hey, can't be mad at that. But we get to do a lot of specials. We have capsules as like special skills. You have your transformation, so we can go into Super Saiyan. And the thing about this game is that a lot of the story mode plays like episodes of the anime.
It does. You have the intros, right? Where like you got the narrator letting you know what's going on. Like it really was at the time. That was the closest experience you got to the Dragon Ball Z TV show to a video game experience, like adaptation, man. It was great. It really was. Blew me away. Like I remember being obsessed with this game. Like we're talking about like fresh off the heels of like Kingdom Hearts 1. You know what I mean? Like I remember like I was like really deep in playing Kingdom Hearts 1 after I played Final Fantasy 10 and the bouncer and stuff.
Yeah.
But when this came out, this this ruled my entire like gaming life for about like a month and a half. Like that winter break, every day had some Budokai time in it.
Go
And
back to
that,
school and you talk about like, did you get everybody unlocked? Did you get the secret character unlocked?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. And the cool thing was, like, even though we're here with Budokai 1, that kind of felt like it was like the tradition for a couple of years.
yeah.
You know? Like holiday time, hey, it's Budokai season.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how we spent it,
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about the roster right quick because
Man, pretty hefty for even just like the first time, right?
yep.
You've got characters that like already aren't always in every fighting game, right? Like you've got like
Mm-hmm.
the Cybermen and the Cell Juniors included,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you might have had them in like a one-off or whatever, like, but the fact that they included them so much to the fact that they would even use them in other ways in the game, pretty
Yep.
nuts, right? Kui, Dodoria, Zarbon, right? All your main characters, Puar, bro. Like, Puar.
Right. Now I will say it was very interesting because I think that the Boo Saga didn't come out just yet with the Funimation dub at this time.
Yeah.
So when this game was developed, we only got, Saiyan Saga to Cell Saga with the
Yeah.
secret character being Great Saiyan Man.
And that was pretty neat just because at least you had like an older version of Gohan to look forward to after he had just put the beats to Cell. You know what I mean? There was a lot of characters they would include in the story mode. Even the playable list of characters is pretty decent, bro. Like you got all the androids, right? You got Hercule. Yo,
Hercule's dynamite kick? Come on, man.
Bro, especially with the little capsules where you could make it to where Hercule could actually do damage.
Bro.
It was one of those things where it was like, nah, this is my Dan Hibiki moment right here, boy.
Nah, for real. Like they really did their big one on that. I will say also, in addition to that, we got the what ifs in this. So when you get through all of the story mode, you can go back and replay them from other people's perspectives. So you can play Vegeta's side of the Saiyan saga, and when you beat Goku in that version, when you beat Krillin and Gohan, it's basically a gauntlet, and you can't heal, which is the craziest thing. Like, it's a nice little challenge.
Be good at the game,
it's a nice little challenge. But when you do beat it, you get to see an Easter egg of him regretting that he killed Nappa, asking Yajirobe to join him, and then he goes Super Saiyan in the Saiyan saga.
Which is just so cool because that's the first time I can recall in a game outside of like the little RPGs on Super Famicom where you could see like Vegeta in Super Saiyan and like the Saiyan armor, which like you never get that in the show. It's just such cool iconography, bro.
Like,
loved them doing that. The Cellin, what if?
Listen,
man,
that is the craziest one.
Seriously, that's how you knew they were like, nah, we're really going off the wall with like these sorts of like ideas with the story, man. Having Cell absorb Krillin,
and he shrinks and turns orange, and you actually have to fight Tien and Yamcha at the same like not at the same time, but in a row.
Yeah, but in a row, yeah. And it was tough to win because like Cellin was not strong at all. Like Cellin was really weak.
And it turns out at the end he was dreaming. Like he was like, man, maybe 10 days was a little bit too long, huh?
I like that little stuff they did, man. I'm telling you, like, even if this would have never turned into a franchise, like, what a great attempt at like bringing Dragon Ball Z into a video game, bro.
Yep, I appreciate them wholeheartedly for that. They also brought back the tournament mode from Super Butoden. So it was a nice little addition. You can unlock the levels, so it's novice, adept, and advanced. Just pretty good if you want to play it solo or if you want to collect Zenny. And then you also have the capsule shop, so you can start buying capsules, which will give you skills for characters, and you can make custom loadouts. This will be a staple because when you get to Budokai 2 and 3, that shit kind of becomes pretty much
You
essential.
Yes. You need those custom capsules, bro. Otherwise, you're gonna get washed over and over.
It's a good first, like for the first day out, Budokai was great. But then
It kept the streets fed.
it kept the streets fed until the end of 2003, where we get Budokai 2. A whole year later.
Yeah. And you want to talk about like if Super Butoden 1 to 2 was like, oh, it's cool that they have these characters from this period in the game, but it doesn't really change too much in the game. Like it feels like a smoother version of that, but that's about it. This is not what we are looking at with Budokai 1 to 2. Budokai 2 might as well be a whole different game. Like, it feels faster. You got characters going through the Buu saga. The story mode is presented in an entirely different way. Budokai 2 is like, it is a great like step in the right direction of what they wanted out of the Budokai series.
Yes. Now I do have a question for you because of that. What did you think of this version of the story mode?
Man, Dragon World. Okay. Imagine you're playing Mario Party, right? But like there's no like competition between you and your friends. It's just you can either screw yourself over or you can get to where you're trying to get to on a board, and that's how you have to clear through the Dragon Ball Z story. Not my favorite way of playing Dragon Ball Z story. Not my favorite way.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Not gonna lie to you.
It was a great way to get more people to play at the same time. You get to share a controller because that's how we used to do it back in the day. When you got the opportunity, when you had the ability to grab an extra character. So let me put it like this. Like you said, it's a board game like Mario Party. But the objective is to get through 9 stages and collect the Dragon Balls along the way of the 9 stages. When you get to the end, you can make a wish, which will grant you, you can get the capsules that gives you all the abilities for a character, or you can get a special mode.
Capsules.
Or you can get a special mode called Bobbity's Ship, which will give you certain challenges. And if you complete those challenges, you earn points that'll allow you to unlock more characters.
Yes. That's how you could unlock like the Buu characters like Dabura and the versions of Majin Buu.
Which was, that would probably be the main reason. I will say, for me, replaying this game within the last 2 weeks was some bullshit. It was some bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, I bet this is hard to go back to, man. We talking about going back to like 2003 gameplay, which ain't the worst for real. I bet you when you were playing the game, when you were in the fights, you were having fun, right?
Oh, facts. And I'll say this. The differences in presentation from 1 to 2.
Yeah. Oh man, night and day.
Like let me say it like this: where we have Budokai 1 that takes you through the story all the way up to Cell Saga. This does its own type of rendition of the entire story going through Buu Saga, where the Saiyans crash land on Earth. But instead of Vegeta crash landing on Earth, it's both Raditz and Nappa on the board.
Yeah.
And you have a bunch of Cybermen just planted around. And so you can pick another character, which also, wait, let me say this. It was kind of dope that if you have save files of previous Budokai games, you get certain characters already unlocked that you can use.
Yes.
So because I played Budokai 1, when I booted up Budokai 2 and loaded into that, Great Saiyaman was available to choose. That was probably one of the best things that I've seen. There are a lot of series that really don't do that.
That's for sure.
Nowadays. Whereas back then it was kind of a cool thing where things could read your memory cards and be like, oh, I see you played this like in Metal Gear Solid. They do it often, you know what I'm saying? Psycho Mantis. Listen.
Oh, I see you like Castlevania.
Yeah. Oh, so it was kind of dope that they allowed you to get those kind of Easter eggs and unlock characters ahead of time. So I do dig them for that. So when
it was really great because that's something that would like can carry on with a lot of these, like especially in the Budokai series and the following series that would come after the Budokai series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I appreciate them for doing that. Those are really good additions. But as far as the Dragon World and getting through it, you have to have a lot of health. You have to have a lot of health.
A lot of patience.
A lot of patience. Not only that, you have to have a lot of time because if you fuck around, bro, like the hardest level for me was, I believe it was between level 6 and level 7. That's when Boo starts to show up.
Okay, so where you've got to fight like Majin Frieza and Majin Cell.
Yeah, Majin Frieza, and then you have to have Supreme Kai as a character on the board, and he has no abilities. Let me tell you, my name in this video is Super Dragon Fist AD. I'm a master at that shit. That move saved me a bunch of time because it's literally just a nigga throwing black flashes.
It is.
You get him locked up in a combo with the
bop,
king.
Bop. Dragon Fist.
It was the best thing in the world. Oh man, best move. Kamehameha, what's that? No.
Launch him in the air. Watch that little cutscene play. Got your ass. Yeah, man. Yeah. Budokai 2 really, it really did change. Like even just like we're talking visually, right? It went from the more blockier like 3D style to like more of a closer to cell shaded, right?
Yeah.
While still maintaining like the 3D aspects of the game. I'm telling Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2 was really where like it's like, oh whoa, this is what a Dragon Ball Z game feels like. You know what I mean? Like it almost seemed like they spent more time really focusing on like, okay, like yes, Dragon Ball Z Budokai, the original game, was really good about like giving you the story and giving you the ability to sort of like relive these moments. How were we going to up people playing the game more? And by having that Dragon World mode, people wouldn't be like, oh, I didn't get the chance to play as this guy enough, so I got watched as him every time. Like, no, you have the chance to kind of really play as most of the characters, at least all of the good characters, right? Throughout the entire story, so you get enough practice with them to say like, oh, I could probably serve you up with like Hercule if I really was using the right like hidden potential and gave you the present and made stuff blow up in your face. You know what I mean?
Not only just that, but also on the board they have different challenges, so you can start with like nobody can block. That would make a lot of things easier if you wanted to just go out and all out rush somebody, or you have no key, so you have to take your time to actually charge your key, or you start with half health. You know, a lot of different ways to play this game and a lot of different ways to tackle the bosses, tackle the different characters, especially when you get to the end and you got to face Kid Buu. Oh man, listen. When you have to get to the end and you fight Kid Buu and then
this is the beginning of the era of where Kid Buu is like feared in Dragon Ball Z fighting games.
Insane health. He has hella reach. He will taunt you. I can't count how many times this man I caught him in a combo and he'll catch me with the same combo. I definitely got my ass dragon fisted a couple times, you know. and it was just lights out. Like the saving grace of this was Dende every time, because Dende will give you a health point. So that you get another chance. If you lose a match, you are stunned. You are stun locked. And so if they chase you on the board, because enemies can chase you too. If they aren't Cybermen, they will chase you across the board. And so at all, like there are special items that you can grab that will allow you to move more than once, or further your movement. And it was great to kind of like experience those things where it's like, okay, this is a different presentation, though while it has its ups and downs.
You don't want to come across Kid Buu with the heart virus on.
Oh no. But that's what I was gonna say. This introduces the skill tray.
Yeah.
So like you can equip heart virus and your health will go down along with Kid Buu, but you can also equip a vaccine so your health doesn't go down.
Yeah.
But it does.
Yeah.
Like
He would sometimes have both on. And I hated that shit, man. Because it was like, yo, like y'all really made him to murder me. That's crazy.
it was insane. You get buffs. You can with the capsules now. You can get buffs. You can unlock different characters with the capsules.
Mhm.
That was another thing as well, where the unlockables for this game, the unlockable characters, where you
Were
had
so
to.
good.
It was amazing. Where you had to fight a certain way, or let's say in I think it's stage 6 or 7, where it's Gotenks and he's
Mhm.
in the pathway Super Boo in the hyperbolic time chamber. You can go around collect the Dragon Balls or whatever. They'll summon Cell and Frieza to kind of fight you, but then he will go and absorb them and become
Yeah.
Majin Cell or Majin
Yeah.
Frieza, with him. Like you get the different variations of what ifs in that scenario.
I really liked what they did with Super Boo in this game.
Mhm.
Because like you had like stuff that you never would even consider, like Vegeta absorbed or Tien and Yamcha absorbed and stuff. It
Mhm.
was just like, yo, like they really thought this out. They wanted to make sure like the Majin Buu character was treated as cool as you possibly could imagine him to be. And I
Mhm.
thought that was really, really dope.
Like they expanded on the what ifs in this way,
Yeah.
and I really dug them for that. Like they really one up the ante. Um, overall,
Now
go ahead.
what did you play this game on GameCube or PlayStation 2?
So I had to play everything on PlayStation 2 with my cousin. Like he had
Okay.
all the games because the GameCube versions didn't come out until when the next game
Yeah.
came out, and Budokai 3
Yeah.
didn't even come out on GameCube. So like,
Yeah, I know. I always thought that was weird. It's like, yo, like what? Like
yeah.
it came out on the Wii, and that makes sense. By the time that it came out,
But
right?
I got
2007.
Tenkaichi
Yeah.
on the Wii. That was the funny part. I
Oh
got
yeah.
Budokai Tenkaichi 3 on the Wii. So like
Yeah.
that, but it was always great to, experience. That was one of those games where childhood memories of it being a family style game, even though it's like gathering around and playing Smash Bros. 4 players.
Oh yeah.
That was this
Yeah,
kind of
man.
game.
Man, I know. I did wind up getting the GameCube version for this game because it was just like something where I was like, you know what, like I want to have a Dragon Ball Z game on my GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was really like just the little changes that they had to it. Like there was different little options you could use in like the versus mode, or like being able to use a little C stick for like certain little combos. Like I don't know. I as a person who actually did take the time to play that one, like I really enjoyed what they did for the GameCube for this one for sure.
I'm gonna have to go check it out because that was one that I never really got a chance to play. Especially because it was, that's one of those things where it's weird that you don't get the full series of a game collection on the console.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But I'm not upset at it because I still got the experience of it. But I will go back and check it because, like I said, these games are really good. It's a great follow up.
This one is also like really special because at one point in time, in Japan, they had a special version of Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2 that came with V Jump. So, like, if you entered a little giveaway, you would get Dragon Ball Z2 V, which was what it was called in Japan. And now, obviously, right, like, I don't know nobody who won the actual physical copy, but look, if you know how to play games online, you know how to play games online. I have played Dragon Ball Z2 V. It's got a special little version of Frieza that's in one of Toriyama's gag mangas, Majin Neko's Neko Majin Z. It's got a little son of Frieza called Kuriza, who's got like a little like acorn head. And in this version, one of Frieza's skins lets you play as like Metal Cooler, which I thought was pretty dope.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, I like the additions of the new characters because we did get like Kibito Kai, we got Supreme Kai, like I said, but we also got Goten and Trunks. We got Videl. We got the
We got Vegito, man.
We got Vegito. That's the big one.
Yeah.
We got fusion characters. We got the what ifs of Goku and Tiencha.
Yes, bro. I thought it was so hilarious that it was like, nah, man. Like those little, like that little what if Goku saw in his head is like, what if I fused with Goku with Hercule? That shit was funny as fuck to me to have it actually playable as a character. And Tiencha is just like the most ridiculous. Like you've thought of all the combinations for all the characters, and it's the last one you got to as character. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh man. Overall, this is a great package game. Like it's definitely a step up in some ways from Budokai 1. I wish they still had the presentation of like the episodes, but
Yeah.
it's still a great way to kind of like wrap everything together. Well, we're on to the last game now. Released November 16th, 2004. North America.
I can hear the guitar riff in my head right now.
Oh, first of all, let me tell you something. You know what I really appreciated about Budokai 2 and 3? Toei got in the bag for those intros. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. The little animations they would give us was crazy. And when you consider, like, if Budokai 2 was them, like, giving us all of the Dragon Ball Z TV show, right? Mm-hmm. Budokai 3 is where they're like, okay, this is everything Dragon Ball has, period. We don't know that there's anything ever coming past that. The last show ended 7 years ago, bro. So we're talking about we got Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, all the movies, or at least the coolest movie characters you can think of to be introduced in America already at the time. They're in this, and it's just like, man, you want to talk about the ultimate Dragon Ball Z package? Like, bro, we prayed. If we prayed for the ultimate Dragon Ball Z game, it wasn't this. It didn't come. It came short of this because nobody could have imagined how good this was at the time that we got it.
You are spitting big facts. This game gave us everything we could have asked for, especially because at this time there wasn't any more Dragon Ball. No more episodes were coming out. Mm-hmm. No more movies. Mm-hmm. So they put their
it's all been out.
And think about it like this. This is what, 2004?
Yeah, man.
We didn't get new Dragon Ball until like 2009, 2010. Like, we didn't even think that Toriyama would come back for this. Like, for new Dragon Ball content.
Like, when it's really wild when you consider, like, this is basically their way of saying, like, hey, here's the whole here's the whole franchise, all the shows, the movies, all that. Like, this is the ultimate. This is their way of saying this is the best way we can give you all of Dragon Ball in the game. And man, for the time, it was I couldn't have wished for more.
Exactly. Like we got new characters in this. The new characters, Bardock,
bro.
That's all I got to say.
Bardock for the first time. Yeah, playing as Bardock for the first time. And the little movie that plays when you do his finishing move. God. Man, I think I probably played originally as Bardock like more than any other character. Yeah.
I feel that. I feel that wholeheartedly. For me, it was Gogeta.
Oh, bro. Which one? Because this is the first time we ever got Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta in the same game. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I can't recall Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta being playable in any game before this one. I'm thinking about like all the fighting games that have come out. I don't think Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was in any of them before this.
Definitely not Final Bout. That would have been the one.
No, it wasn't. Is that came out like right after Baby, and that was it.
That would have been the one.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then we also get Cooler, Broly, Omega Shenron.
Man, I'm telling you, like just the heaviest hitters of like, you got to remember this is a point in time where like the strongest characters you could imagine in Dragon Ball Z or GT is Broly, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and Omega Shenron. So
Yes.
they're like, nah, man, we've got like the craziest characters ever. And I mean, you want to talk about them calling the future. This is the first time you've ever even considered a matchup between Gogeta versus Broly in the intro video.
Oh,
and then
man.
what winds up happening in 2018, man? This is really like a Dragon Ball Z fan, Dragon Ball GT fan, Dragon Ball fans, like coldest fever dream, man. Like it's just like, you know what I mean? Like,
if you are a Dragon Ball fan, you are doing yourself a disservice by not at least attempting to play this game. This is the game to play.
Yeah.
Out of all the games that we've talked about so far, I think you should play this game wholeheartedly.
I mean, there's nothing that you don't feel a rush of if you've at least been a fan of Dragon Ball Z, even if you've only been a fan of Dragon Ball Z, right? You get that rush when you're playing this game of like, whoa, I can transform into the forms as I'm going. I can do these super climactic finishing moves. You know what I mean?
Doing the mechanics have changed enough.
The you know what I'm saying? The bashing of the key blast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Beam struggles, the combos. Listen, we didn't even talk about the burst modes where you have to mash the buttons. Oh man. But
dude, get the timing so right and all that, man. They changed everything up in a way that like it really felt like, no, like this is how we make the best version of this fucking game.
They revamped the key system. So now this is the modern day key system where the health bar is now a scouter and you charge your key and you see the key meter build up. And so now you can use your key meter to do teleportation dodges, as well as transform, as well as go into rage mode. So you can do a super finishing combo to explode the scouter when their health reaches 0. Like, there are so many different small quality of life changes that revamp this battle system so much that it's still used in these games today. I'm like, Sparking Zero is going to have this stuff.
Yeah. It's the first game I can think of where if you transform, you get more ki. Like your character gets buffs to where like they feel like this is a stronger version of that character, or they have more of a pool of ki to use. So it's like, of course, they're more powerful, right? Like this is the game where it's like, no, this is really that sort of experience, right? For the majority of characters that are able to transform, they're able to go in and out of forms, which is something like that really wasn't always a feature. Right.
And not only that, because you can go in and out, you can save your key. It's a strategic move for you. It's so many things to this gameplay element. This is the first time where you can actually manually fly.
Yeah, like, you want to talk about something that's a first in just anime fighting games in general, being able to teleport counter somebody.
Yes.
Think about how that's become a staple in anime fighting games in general.
To chain combos into teleports.
Yeah.
The original games didn't have that. Budokai 1 and 2 didn't have this. They made it more expansive. You have your destructible environments, of course, which we didn't really talk about, but they expanded on that a lot more. Like it was
I even like the little like Dragon Rush feature where it's like sort of like a tic-tac-toe, right? Yeah. And you're like, okay, like or you know, or more like rock paper scissors, I guess is what
we'll talk about that in another episode.
It's way less of rock paper scissors than another game, but you at least get like some sort of advantage based on what button you press, and like it can chain into something where like player 2 can get the advantage, but then player 1 can steal it. You know what I mean? And like, and it gives this chance that feels like you're doing these epic like battles in the sky. Like this is where. It doesn't feel like Street Fighter turned Dragon Ball. It feels like a Dragon Ball Z fighting game.
Yes, exactly. And I love this aspect of it because this is what separates it from a lot of different anime fighters as well. Nowadays, when you look at certain games that are produced by Bandai Namco, they either go one of two ways. They either go something like this, or they go into the Naruto Arena Fighter.
Yeah.
And
That's very true.
honestly, I kind of prefer this mostly because this is the style that fits Dragon Ball. They need to take more time. This is just a personal opinion. They just need to take more time into customizing the fighting games that they're making for these series into their respective series. Like, I'm kind of liking what they're doing with the new Bleach game. I'm not gonna lie. The new
Yeah, I
Bleach
was
game-
just about to say that. The Bleach Rebirth of Souls really looks like a great example of that. It looks like it is, it's beyond what they've done with previous Bleach games where they tried to make Bleach fit within like a fighting game aspect, or they made arena style games for Bleach. Like, this feels like it's like, no, like, let's make a game that fits within that universe's skill set, right?
Yes.
When we've really just been talking about the fighting.
Right.
The one thing that will blow your mind about this game versus any other previous game is the Dragon universe, really. Because we're talking about, like, this is pre-Kakarot. All we've really had at this point is like the legacy of Goku games on the handheld, right? Or maybe if you were playing, the Super Saiyan Legend on SNES or whatever, right? Like, those are the only times you ever felt like, okay, I can kind of fly around the map and travel. This here, you're literally flying around the entire world of the Earth in Dragon Ball, and being able to go to certain map locales and like being able to get certain what ifs based on when a character goes somewhere and stuff. Man,
because the best thing about that, right, and like you said, is that you can play as certain characters. And so during their arcs in these certain what ifs or whatever their perspective is from that arc, you get those what ifs. You get to see like Kami's spaceship. You get to see the Saiyan pods.
Yeah.
You get to see certain things as you go through those arcs. You get to see the map change on the world. And it's just an amazing feeling, especially when you start to play through certain characters and you can go to Namek. You can fly around Namek.
Yeah.
Like,
this is the first time where you're like literally controlling the character and you're like flying 3D around the whole planet.
And there are cutscenes that play when you hit to a certain place. Like, I recall a time where I was playing as Gohan and I was flying around Namek, and I flew across the village where Dende is about to get killed, and they play a cutscene for that specific moment where Gohan and Krillin save him. Like, you're just flying and you get pulled into that,
and it just pops out of nowhere. You don't expect it. You don't even know that's the next thing you have to do, right? It happens. It's like, whoa, okay, I'm here now, right? Or like, let's say, if you beat it with a character, and then you go back, you can make stuff that from the movies happen this time. So like, you can wind up fighting against Cooler or Broly or something. Like, you can unlock specific stuff if you make certain choices in the Dragon universe. This was my preferred way to play a Dragon Ball Z game story. Like, if we're talking about all of them, all the choices I had up till 2004, man, 20 years ago, bro, we were feasting.
Yes. This was a fantastic way to do this game. My true one complaint is just, and it's been since Budokai 1, it's just the downgrade of presentation when it comes to those cutscenes.
Yeah.
Because before it was 3D models in Budokai 1 and you get to see them move around. Budokai 2, they just scrapped it and kind of replaced it with, some 3D models here and there, depending on the characters that are fighting, but mainly it's Goku. And then you have those voice lines, or sometimes it's not voice lines. For this, it's just JPEGs of characters and text boxes.
You've got this one render of Goku, and then you've got the happy render of Goku. Then you've got the like concerned render of Goku, and then a text box. And you it's voiced out sometimes, but that it really slims down the experience. I understand too, right? Because like, man, think about the amount of cutscenes they would have had to do, right?
Yeah.
And maybe just at this point in time, right, the devs are like, yo, we know what we really want to put into this, and that's like the fighting aspect. We could put some like scenes into the tournament and stuff like that, but maybe that's just where their focus was. I get it. Demps might have been like, yo, we're 3 years in, bro.
Yeah.
We know
It's
what
a
we want
yearly
to
development
improve.
cycle.
Yeah, we know what we want to improve, so let's just improve that and keep it moving.
Yeah. But overall, this is the game to play.
It is, man. Especially if you're gonna say like, okay, like I've never played a PS2 Dragon Ball Z game. Like, which one should I just check out just to be like, what was it like back then? Yeah, jump into Budokai 3 first. There's some stuff you can get into after that. Budokai 3 was it, man. What I really like and you know, as Dragon Ball fans, we really focus on those main 3, but like the franchise for Budokai continued onto the PSP.
Oh yeah,
we wound up even getting like a later sequel to Budokai 4 called Infinite World, which is a lot of fun in its own right. It cuts out a lot of the best features of Budokai 3, but if we're talking about just like fighting gameplay, like they really did improve on it, and it feels like a decent enough, like, oh, this is a really good expansion to like Budokai 3.
Yeah. Like, this is the step that the series needed to take as far as, you know, evolving from what was Super Butoden and Final Bout, getting into Budokai, and this being the gameplay and the aspects that they wanted to get into when it comes to the later games. This is where it all started, and this is where we just level up. You know, it gets better. Man, it gets way better.
It's only up from here, for real. From this point, it you would imagine it's only up from here within the immediate future.
Yes, I think we should wrap it up at this point, man. Like, I don't think there's anything else that needs to be said other than thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Next episode, I think we're gonna hold off on getting into the next trilogy. You know, we're gonna savor that one.
We'll let y'all when we get there, y'all we'll enjoy it. But we got some more in tune for you.
Yeah, I think what you feeling about the handhelds? We might have to talk a little bit about that. We might cover a little bit of Shin Budokai. You know?
Listen, honestly, there's a lot to discuss with them handhelds. We're talking about the Legacy of Goku series, right? The Shin Budokai's, like, especially if you were a heavy PSP player, man, like that was a lot of fun to have with you on deck. And look, if we're talking about just early handhelds, there's one handheld. Look, you never expected, but it's a good ass game. I can't wait to talk about it, man.
We'll save all of that for next week. But thank you guys for listening to Plug and Play. We will catch you guys another time. Please make sure to follow all the Lookout RNC socials. We are on Twitter /X. We're on IG. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. Wherever you can find your podcasts, we are everywhere.
Stay plugged in, y'all. Peace.
Yes, sir.